Hi ladies, so I wanted to do a face routine video for you guys. This is just what I do basically every day, how I start, how I finish, and just kind of do just my face. Like I'm not going to do eye makeup or anything like that, and I probably won't do blush either. Yeah, so I guess let's just get started. I'll explain what I'm using, sorry, excuse me, as we go along. Excuse how I look right now. Obviously, this is what I look like before I apply any makeup, and I'm just like in a frumpy t-shirt right now. Actually, I should probably... this is a Fuck Hate t-shirt. If you haven't checked them out at fuckhate.com. Yes, right there on the boob. It's a great fundraising program for suicide prevention for gay people, basically. And it's really great. Check them out on Facebook too. They have some hilarious videos on there. I'll put the link down below. Anyways, yeah, so to get started, I always use my Olay All Day Moisturizer. This has SPF 15 in it. I use the one for sensitive skin. I use this every day. I've been using this every day since I was like 15. I'm not really interested in finding another moisturizer just because this one works. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't consider it low end, but I wouldn't consider it like super high end moisturizer either. I get it at the drugstore for about $8-9. But you know what? I think that like if you can find a product that works for you, then stick with it. Do you know what I mean? This one definitely works for me. I use it every single day. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. So just put that all over until it's all soaked in. It's best if you do this like right when you get out of the shower and your pores are still open, and that way your skin can kind of soak it all up a little bit better. I've been out of the shower for a couple minutes now, so it's not the best, but yeah, this is something to keep in mind. So I do that, and then I go on to my foundation. I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Flat Top brush because I've been using this for my foundation like every day and I love it. The foundation that I'm using right now is Revlon ColorStay for combination and oily skin, and I actually really like this one because my T-zone gets quite oily throughout the day, and yeah, I really like this one. Right now I'm in 220 Natural Beige. Where are we? There we go. And this one doesn't have a pump or anything, it's just kind of like the open top or whatever. So I just kind of, sometimes I'll put it on the back of my hand, but this stuff kind of has a tendency, it can like run off of your hand if you're not watching it and if you don't work quickly enough. So oftentimes I do this, I'll just put kind of both cheeks on my forehead, nose, and then a little bit on my chin. And then if that's not enough, then I'll just, I look awesome right now. If that's not enough, then I'll just go ahead and add some more. So yeah, you just want to start on one side. Just kind of, you just want to stipple the color in. You want to blend it into your jawline, obviously you guys all know that. But just in case you don't, I used to go to high school with a girl that had that clear line of makeup every single day, all the way around her chin, and it just looked awful. It honestly just looked awful. And when you see that on someone, you know what I'm talking about, so we want to try to avoid that as much as we can. Just gonna finish up here. You want to blend it into your hairline, but do it towards the end when there's not so much product on the brush, so you're not getting globs of foundation in your hair. So you can already tell that I look a little more human. I really like this foundation. It's about medium coverage. As you can see, the kind of redness on my cheeks has been covered up a bit already, which is awesome because I always have that little bit of pigmentation there. Yeah, so there's the foundation. Just get the rest of it off the brush. And for my concealer, I've still been using the Rimmel Match Perfection in Classic Beige. And I think I'm almost getting low on this one. I was going to do a June favorites. I was going to do a favorites video. Well, I did do one, and then my internet was down for like a week, and now it's like a week and a half into July, and it's just too late to do it anyways. I was going to put this in there because I have been using this every single day. I got it on sale at the drugstore for about $7, but I can't imagine it being any more than 8 or 9. And I think I lucked out with the color because this is the perfect color for me, so I'm always scared squeezing it because you don't want to squeeze out too much product. But I think I am getting closer to the end. There you go. You're just going to want to squeeze a little bit out of the end of the brush there. So I just do that on my inner eyes and underneath. So you look awesome again. And just work that into your under eye area. I really like this stuff too because it has really great coverage, especially after you set it with your powder. It just kind of gets a little bit seamless and it stays a lot longer, so I'm just going to add a little bit more to the corners of my eyes. And maybe just another swipe or a swipe on my eyelids just to cover up a few of those little veins. And just to make everything even. We're looking even more like humans. I like it. Okay, so that's with the concealer on. My light is probably washing me out a little bit. Or the light from the window, I mean. The powder that I use Mineralize SkinFinish. This is in medium plus, and that's that one there. I'm kind of making a dent in it finally. It's flat, so it's not a dome, like a dome shape anymore. I'm just using a big kabuki brush from Essential Beauty. I really like this one because it's huge and fluffy. Pick up some of your product and just go ahead and just buff it into everywhere where you've put foundation. I'm putting this on so our foundation lasts longer, and just to kind of matte the skin a little bit. That foundation can kind of make you look a little dewy, like a little shiny, I guess, and this stuff will kind of tone that down a little bit, which is nice. Yeah, so that is that. The bronzer that I use, MAC Mineralize SkinFinish again, and this one is in medium deep. This one was a little dark for me, but now it's just becoming the right kind of color. So what I do with this is I pick it up with the same brush, and just a little bit. It's better to start with a little bit and build your way up than it is to try to buff everything out if you put like way too much on, right? So just start with a little bit, kind of tap off the excess. And what I do is I start here kind of like I'm contouring this a little bit. And so I'll do on the sides. And I do kind of buff it into my hairline, just so you don't have a visible line. And we don't really necessarily want to look and see that it's there, because you do want it to look quite natural. I don't really like the look of bronzer on your face, but if you do it light enough, then it'll just kind of give you a nice little glow. So yeah, I just kind of frame my face with the bronzer. And then for my eyebrows, I just use the BonneBell Eye Definer Eyeliner in Latte. And this one I think is a pretty good color for my eyebrows. So I gotta kind of look in the mirror over here when I do it, but I'll kind of try to explain as I go along. So I always do the ends first, the lightest. I have to do this because my eyebrows are quite sparse. I'm just one of those people that doesn't naturally have full beautiful eyebrows. Do you know what I mean? Like I do tend to, I'm kind of like an obsessive plucker underneath, but those are just the ones underneath. But when you get right up close to my eyebrows, they're quite naturally sparse. So here you can see that I started on the bottom and drew my line up connecting to this part, and then just kind of filled it in as I went up. You don't really want any of the lines to look super harsh. And you want to use short strokes and light pressure when you do this. And don't worry about them being exactly the same, because naturally nobody's eyebrows are exactly the same, and I obsessed about that for like so long. But now I just try to match them as close as you can, but don't sit there forever and try to make them match exactly, because it's impossible. It's never going to happen. So yeah. Yes. Okay, and then the last step is I set my eyebrows with the powder from the e.l.f. Eyebrow Kit in Light. And that's the powder on this side. And it does look quite light. It's lighter than the pencil that I put on. But I like that, because if it was any darker, it would totally darken the color of my eyebrows. And that's not what we want, because I like the color that the pencil is. We just want this to set the pencil so they last longer. So just go over where you've done, and then make sure you have not very much product on the brush at all when you do the end. And then when you do the end, you're just gonna, like that. And it'll just kind of make them fade out at the end really nicely, which I like. So yeah, that is my basic face routine. I hope you guys can tell the difference, because I think I look a lot better and I feel a lot better even when I just have the basics on. Foundation, concealer, powder, and bronzer. Oh my god, I just about forgot. And I also always, oh yes, my Prep and Prime by MAC. And so that's this one here. There we go. And this you seriously only need a little bit about, and I know I mention it all the time. But see, even that is going to be enough. Put it in the lid of the product and just kind of tap it and swirl it around. And I don't put this everywhere, but I do put it where my face gets oily throughout the day. So just on my forehead, down my nose, and along my chin. It's translucent powder, so you're not gonna see it at all. But after you put it on, your skin feels so soft, like honestly so soft. If you've never tried this before, try it. Honestly, you're gonna wonder how you lived without it. And so yeah, that's gonna help our foundation stay a little bit longer throughout the day, because it kind of absorbs a bit of the grease, a bit of the oil that comes out in the middle of the day, and it'll help it from kind of wiping away your foundation. Yeah, so that's my basic face routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Bye!